So without any further ado, let me introduce to you the new head football coach at the University of Kentucky, Will Stein. You see how Mitch had to lower this down for me? What's up with that, Mitch? You might hear a lot of Demi as I'm talking. She's a talker. Okay. Wrote some notes for everybody. First of all, I am honored is an understatement. I really don't know what to say. I've thought today was a dream. I thought yesterday was a dream. It's just been an unbelievable last 24, 48 hours. It's something that a coach can only dream of, to get his first head coaching job and to do it at a place like the University of Kentucky. It really is truly a dream. It's really cool. I'm standing on the Rich and Karen Brooks football field right now. I got to really link up with Rich when I was out in Oregon. Phenomenal coach. Really look up to him, and just really cool that I'm standing on his field. I have to thank Dr. Capilouto, Mitch, Mark, Ray Oliver, and really just thank Big Blue Nation. This place means a lot to me. We mentioned my dad, we mentioned my background here. I've been coming to this place literally since I was born. I think my parents used to take me to games and put headphones on me. I don't know if they had headphones back then, but whatever they put on kids, I was in the stands. And it's a really surreal moment to be standing in front of everybody in this building. I'd be remiss not to talk about Dan Lanning and Rob Mullins, the entire University of Oregon, the players there, the support there. I would not be in this position without them. I know what got me this job. It's winning games. And being at Oregon, working for Dan, working for Rob, who worked at this university, they mean the world to me. I also have to thank Jeff Traylor, took a chance on me, housed me when I was at the University of Texas, hired me back from the high school ranks, the University of Texas at San Antonio, made me his pass game coordinator and receiver coach, and then promoted me to offensive coordinator and play caller there for the Roadrunners. I have to thank Hank Carter as well from Lake Travis High School, another guy that I talked to today. We actually signed one of his players, which is really cool and surreal for me. And I have to thank Bob Beatty, my high school coach at Trinity High School, who really instilled discipline in me, was able to win 3 state championships there under Bob, under his direction. The most important people to thank, besides all those people that helped me get here, the number one is my wife, Darby. She is my rock. I'm gonna get emotional right now thinking about this. She's our everything. She's my biggest fan, my number one supporter. And I'm so thankful to be married to you and to see you be just an unbelievable mother to our 2 kids. Who Joey and Demi are right there. Joey's favorite color is blue. It's been blue his whole life, I swear. It was green for a little bit for the Ducks. You know, I thought maybe Trinity High School, the Ducks, green, but it's been blue. And, you know, Joey and Demi are my biggest fans in my world. They are my why, and I do it for them. I have to thank my parents, Matt and Debbie. They're obviously, Mitch recognized them, the UK alums, which is really cool. My brothers, Matthew, Nathan, and Lee. All of my Stein, Nutt, Dudley, and Carruthers families. I would not be here without them. I'd be remiss to not talk about Coach Stoops and what he's meant to this program. Really thankful for his 13 years here as the head ball coach. You know, Kentucky football and Big Blue Nation would not be where they are without him. So I think we all owe him an incredible amount of debt for his efforts and success here. I want to thank the players that are currently on this team, and the lettermen that decided to come out here and support me. It means the world. This is your program. This isn't Will Stein's program. This is your program. It's always going to be, it always has been, and the doors are always open for you guys. I want you guys to feel like this is your home, because it is. You are the reason why I'm standing up here. And so this is your program. Yeah, I mentioned that I've obviously grew up a Kentucky fan. I remember old Commonwealth Stadium, the two sides, the grass field, the bleachers on the edge. I remember walking through there as a kid. I was at the '94 Peach Bowl. I was at the Outback Bowl with my dad and older brother against Penn State and LeVar Arrington. I remember that game. We went to Busch Gardens after. We rode a roller coaster ride, and my dad just couldn't handle it. So me and my brother started doing all the roller coasters after he was like throwing up at a park bench. I'll never forget that. This is not a great memory for everybody, but I remember the Bluegrass Miracle. I do. You might say, I don't know. I was about to jump on, but I do remember later getting revenge against LSU, right? Big fourth down stop here in Kroger Field, right? I remember when Tebow got knocked out. You remember that? I remember that. I remember growing up watching all the great plays, great teams. I mean, Jacob Tamme, I met him last night. What an unbelievable person. I remember watching Tim Couch as a kid, Dusty Bonner, Craig Yeast, Raphael Little, Wesley Woodyard. I talked to Randall Cobb yesterday. I mean, you name it. The players are here. They have been for a long time. We're going to continue that tradition here at Kentucky. The vision's really simple. It's to win. It's to win. I didn't come here to be average. I didn't come here to be mediocre. I came here to win and to win championships. I've won at every single level that I've been at, high school, college, and now the goal is to win here and not win 5 years down the road, 10 years down the road, to do it now. And the way that you do that is you work. You work, right? Success is not free. Rent is due every damn day that we're here. And we're going to work to get that done, to make Big Blue Nation proud and make our players proud and do it the right way. And how do you do it? I said work, but number one, we got to recruit every day. We wake these kids up in the morning, we put them to bed at night. It's like shaving. If you don't do it every day, you start to look like crap. So we have to recruit, we have to sign great players. Not okay players, we got to sign great players. That's how you win. It's a player's game. It always has been, it always will be. I look like a much better coach when I'm coaching great players. So I need everybody's support in this building to get that done. You have to develop your talent. It's one thing to acquire talent, but in order to retain it, you have to pour into them on and off the field. It's got to be a product that we all love to watch on Saturdays. And then connection is huge. I mentioned the doors are always open for our lettermen. The doors are always open for the people that support this program. And in order for us to be a strong program, we got to be connected from all the way from the top to the president, all the way down to the lowest equipment manager. Everybody's going to be connected in this program. We're going to play an exciting brand of football. It's the only way I know how to do it. Right? We're going to take risks, like Mitch had alluded to. But our offense, our plan is to light up the scoreboard. Why not? Right? I've seen it done here many a times, and that's the goal. It's not easy. Football's not easy. It's not meant to be easy. It's the toughest game in the world, played by really tough men. But I know doing it the right way, doing it the way that I've seen at the highest of levels in college football, it will be done here at Kentucky. On defense, man, we're going to play relentless. From point A to point B, attacking the football and having great ball excellence. Special teams, we say we're going to change the game. Like, I want a fake punt. I want an onside kick, right? I want to take advantage of opportunities to steal possessions in the game so we can maximize our points. We're a national brand. We work in the best conference in the world. There's no reason why we can't be successful here. Zero. And the excuses are done. It's time to get to work. It will work. It does take work. I told the team this yesterday, and I think this quote really sticks out to me, that losers think about winners, okay? But winners think about winning. That's all I'm focused on is winning. And it's not going to be easy. Everybody knows that in this room. But it will be done. And it takes everybody. It takes the support. I cannot wait to get started. We already signed a great class today. First day on the job, signing day. Enjoy that. Yeah, that's real fun. But we're going to create great culture for our guys. We're going to hire an elite staff. I have some of the best coordinators in the country that are going to follow along. Those won't be announced yet, but just trust me, everybody wants to work with Will Stein, and everybody wants to work at the University of Kentucky. So I'm fired up. Go Cats. Thank you.
Next, Coach Stein's going to take questions from members of the media. Please stand when you have a question and identify yourself and your affiliation. And Susan has the microphone.
Hi, Will. Welcome back to Kentucky. Lee Howard with WKYT. You talked about the SEC and you've competed at the highest levels. Of course, the SEC has a reputation as the best in college football. What makes you think you'll be able to come in and kind of flip a roster and be ready to compete among the other programs?
That's a great question. You know, I think about my path here, and I really am a product of great coaches in my life. I mentioned a lot of their names. Obviously worked in an elite conference in the Big Ten. I don't think it's quite the SEC, but you know, Dan Lanning and my training with him has been a phenomenal resource for me to be prepared for this job and for what's to come. And the only way to win, like I mentioned, is to recruit. You have to sign great players. Great players, like I mentioned earlier, they are what make the game fun. They are what make us win. So my training, I trust it. You know, I don't try to make stuff up that I might not know. I have great resources in my life to call on when need be. But I believe what I've done the past 3 years at the University of Oregon has set me up to be successful immediately here at Kentucky.
Just raise your hand if you have a question.
Will, hey, Ryan Black, the Louisville Courier-Journal. I wanted to ask, you know, you kind of talked about roster building. How do you come down on between the high school recruiting to build the roster versus transfer portal? Which way do you kind of feel like you'll probably lean on more and then supplement the other way?
Sure, yeah. I mean, I think it all starts at the high school ranks. I really do. I think the first thing that we have to win is Kentucky, is win the state. When Kentucky's at its best, the best players from the state play for the Wildcats. So it always starts in high school, and then you build your roster out and you manage it according to your numbers and according to where your needs are. The portal is a great supplemental tool. It's not the end-all, be-all. But I would like to think that it always starts with high school ranks. That's where your real development happens. That's where your retention happens. That's where you get to know these people the best, their parents, the people that matter to them. And then they want to stay at your university longer.
Will, Adam Luck at Kentucky Sports Radio. You mentioned recruiting, the importance. Do you feel you're resourced to be able to financially compete to get the players you want?
Yeah, of course. Of course. I mean, Mitch, Mark laid out a great plan. Feel like we're right there to be successful right away. And now let me say this. You know, I worked at a place everybody thinks Phil Knight, Nike, these guys got the most money in the world. Yeah, there's money there, don't get me wrong. But we beat recruits because we win the relationships. That's where it starts. Guys still want to get recruited old school. You still got to know mom, grandma, aunt, coach. You got to be completely entrenched in these people's lives. And when you can do that, you don't always have to be the highest bidder. And if the first conversation is about money, probably not the place for you. Not because of lack of it. We have plenty of that here. Plenty. I've talked about 10,000 people last night at the basketball game, all very, very willing and supportive of the program. So I know we have that. But that can't be the first thing you talk about. I want guys that love football, that want to compete every single day, be the best version of themselves, and win.
Hey, Coach, Jordan Adams with Fox 56 here in Lexington. You were able to do some great things with 3 different quarterbacks in 3 different seasons at Oregon. Why will that continue here at Kentucky with guys like Matt Ponatoski, who you guys signed this morning, as well as guys like Cutter Boley, who I know you have a previous relationship with?
Yeah, I think me playing the position definitely helps. I can meet these guys where they're at. I tell them all the time, I know I'm not very tall. You know, Mitch had to move this down for me, but I did stand in the pocket, and I've gotten hit as throwing the ball. As I've been throwing the ball, I've gone through progressions. I've called plays in a huddle. So being a quarterback by trade, doing it since I was 4 years old, I have a relatability to these players, and I think that's really what makes me different. And then have the ability to morph the offense into what best suits them. What we did with Bo Nix was different than what we did with Dylan Gabriel. It was what we did different with Dante Moore. It was what I did different with Frank Harris and Hudson Card. So the offense never looks the same. It might have the same principles in it, but we played to the strengths of the QB. We always will. We always have been. And I'm looking forward to working with all those guys and building that room and building the culture of really the quarterback tradition that lies here at Kentucky.
Hey, Will, Nick Roush from KSR. Just to piggyback off the quarterback question, the last three guys you got were, for lack of a better term, damaged goods. You know, the other schools they were at didn't want them. So when you're evaluating quarterbacks, what are you looking for? What's the thing that jumps out to you that says, I can turn this guy into a winner?
Yeah, everybody wants to look at height, weight, speed. And, I mean, I'll be the first one to tell you, that's where you start kind of in recruiting. Do they fit the measurables? But at quarterback, it's so much more than that. It's, do they have the mental makeup to be the toughest MFer on the field? Because that's what they got to be. They got to be mentally and physically tough. That's really where it starts with me. And then processing ability, being extremely accurate. I think if you look at the guys that I've coached recently, all over 70% passers. If you're not over 70% in high school, what makes you think you're going to be 70% in college? So we look at that. Arm talent only takes you so far. You rarely ever throw it 70 yards unless it's a Hail Mary situation. So can you be accurate? Can you throw on time? Can you withstand the confines of a pocket? And then in today's modern football, you got to be mobile. It's not mean that you got to be a 4-3 guy or run extremely fast, but you got to be able to escape throughout the pocket and make plays outside with your feet.
Matt, Larry Vaught from Danville, Kentucky. Just wanted to, how did your meeting go with the players yesterday? And what is there about Cutter maybe that you remember from a couple of years ago when you tried to recruit him and he told you no thanks?
Yeah, I mean, it was great to see the players. And I've obviously, it's been a lot the last 12 hours because of signing day. This is not everything's different. The calendar's different in college football. So, you know, I would like to say I would love to spend more time with them yesterday. Obviously, I introduced myself to them and my family. Just kind of gave them me, raw. I might have said an F-bomb or two, you know. I'm sorry, Mitch, but I did. I'm passionate, and I hope they felt that passion and my commitment to them. And, you know, not just Cutter, but everybody on the team I'm excited to coach. You know, this is a great opportunity for me, and I know we have a lot of great players here and ready to get working with them.
Will, back here. Kent Spencer, WHAS 11, over here.
What's up, Kent?
Hey, how you doing, buddy? When you were growing up in Louisville, could you picture a day like this when a building like this is filled for you to be a head coach?
No, I really couldn't. Yeah, I always wanted to be like an NFL quarterback. I thought this might be my Hall of Fame speech, you know, something, you know. But no, I quickly learned, you know, especially when some guy named Teddy Bridgewater came in the game here, you know, for me, that I think my playing days might be limited. So you only dream of this stuff. You never know if it's actually going to come true. You just try to be great where you're at, be where your feet are, work your tail off, treat people the right way, and then have a lot of really good players in your life that afford you to have this opportunity.
Daryl Berta with Cat's Paws here in Lexington. A couple of things. One, I was curious, who's happier, you because you have what you called a dream job, or your mom because those beautiful grandbabies are back home?
I think I think we're equal there. Okay, I won't choose me or her. Okay, but no, my family's extremely excited to be an hour from Louisville, easy drive. It's definitely a game changer.
And secondly, a lot of coordinators make the step up to be a head coach. How did you know in your heart, your soul, that you were ready to take this step?
It's a great question. It's like, when are you ready? I don't know. When are you ready to get married? When are you ready to have your first child? When are you ready to buy your first house? You don't know. Do we all know? If we did, I don't know, you know, but you just feel it in your heart, you know, you feel it in your heart. And it's not like every opportunity is one that you want to jump on. You know, there's been some opportunities prior that just were not to this degree of importance to me. And so, yeah, you don't know. You just prepare for the moment, just like a backup quarterback like I did. And when you get your opportunities, you make the most of it. And, trust what you've been doing the last 15 years of your career are all meant to be for this moment.
Hey, Will. Wow, with my big mouth, that's really loud. One, welcome. Two, your mom was great on the show yesterday, and I asked her an obvious question. She blew me away with the answer. And by the way, I think she was more happy about the grandkids, but we can debate that later. I said, if I asked you, your mom, 30 years ago, would you have expected that your son would become a head coach? And she said, yes. I went, wow. When did you get the bug? When did you know? When did it hit you that, hey, you want to do this?
I mean, I've been throwing around the football since I was born, pretty much, so maybe that was her take. I think we got to get, Lex, we might need to get like an SID for my mom or something, I mean, see a video, she's talking to KSR, I'm like, holy crap, all right, this is going, all right? Might need some detail on that. But no, I mean, you just don't know. You just do your best. And, I've been on a team my whole life. I really have. I mean, since I was 4 years old. That's why I got into coaching. My dad's a lawyer. I was like, should I do this when I'm done playing? I got my MBA at Louisville. Should I get into real estate or something? I've been on my team my whole life. I mean, I got guys here that were on my, T-ball teams. So to not be on a football team or any sort of team was just never going to happen. And when I got offered the opportunity to be a graduate assistant at Louisville, it was a perfect opportunity, perfect transition. And I've just been around great men, great women that have helped me up to this point. And it's just been a really fun ride.
Dylan Ballard of Sea of Blue. I've got kind of two questions. The first one more non-football. In the first few pictures you were taking around the facilities, you had on Jordans in every one of them.
That's right.
As a collector of Jordans, how well is your collection? The second question, how are you going to balance over the next few weeks managing hiring a staff, bringing in players, meeting with current players, and the opportunity you still have at Oregon with your team there?
Sure. Yeah, the Jays, I was never a sneakerhead until I got out to Oregon, so I think I've changed my mind a little bit. I like the shoes a little bit more. I got cowboy boots on today. I don't figure come back home to Kentucky or by horse country. I'll put some boots on. But I do like wearing Jays. Balance is hard. Unfortunately, in this business, there is no balance. There's none. Let's say I can balance my work life, be at home at this time. There's not. And the president told me yesterday, make sure I balance that. And we do our best. We really do. But it's just like I said, it's just going to be relentless. And it's going to be a grind the next month. But it's something that I've been dreaming of and wanted to do. And, there's a team back in Eugene, Oregon that is also counting on me to call ball plays. And, but I know that there's great support back there. The guys are grinding. And I owe it to those players, I really do, to finish what I started. It's unfortunate that the calendar is this way. I know you've heard coaches across the country talk about the calendar. It is what it is. And excited about the challenge ahead. We're going to build a great staff. Signing day today, I'd say went as good as it could have gone, being that we had about 12 hours to assemble an initial group of players. But what I'm proud about is those guys stayed committed to the university because they love Kentucky. It wasn't about one single individual. It was about everybody as a whole in Big Blue Nation and their visits up here and the academics and the campus in Lexington. So that's what I'm proud about. And we're working diligently around the clock right now.
Coach, Dick Gabriel with the UK Network, Big Blue Insider. By the way, my cousins live in Portland, a bunch of them do. They've assured me that we got a pretty good coach coming our way. They're big fans of yours. I think everybody in this room right now has seen Feed the Studs video. You probably got about 20,000 hits on that. You referred to your defensive philosophy. How do you feed the studs on defense? I'm curious. And just to follow up, describe your emotions when you made the Y last night.
Three-parter, okay? Let's think about that. Feed the studs. It's a real simple philosophy. It's get your best players the ball as many times as you can. We know players win games. Scheme is great. I think we have great scheme. We have great the way that we game plan. But what makes a play, I tell the guys every Saturday, they make the plays possible. They do. It comes to life with the players. We can all draw up curl flat or four verts or power or counter, but the players make the play. They do. So we do that in a variety of different ways, like I mentioned, with personnel groupings, formations, really lives through the quarterback's lens. But on defense, I mean, defense is power of unit, you know. It's not about one individual, and really offense isn't about one individual. All this is a unit-based. So defense is, how can you showcase that? Well, I mean, you can have great third down packages with your edges. You can blitz a corner that might be really good off the edge. You can put a safety down in the box that might be a good against the run. So there's multiple ways you can do that schematically, but it truly is power of unit in all three phases. And then your last question about the why, I mean, I kind of blacked out, to be honest. Like, I didn't really know what was going on. I know I did a lot of fist pumping and yelling. The cheerleaders that escorted me out, I think I kind of wrestled away from them just to start going as quickly as I could. So that was unbelievable. I'm like, you're choosing me over Tayshawn? What the hell is going on here? Okay. All right. But no, it was really a special moment.
John Hill with the Herald Leader. We've heard a lot about you growing up as a Kentucky fan, but how did your relationship with the program change when you didn't get the chance to play here and then you went to Louisville?
Well, I mean, it obviously changed. I went to the rival, so there was some, 4 or 5 years of some bad blood, but that's a competitor to me, but yeah, out of high school, I would have loved to have the opportunity to come here, but everything happens for a reason. Like, I go to Louisville, Steve Crackthorpe starts me as a walk-on. Think about that. Like, who'd have said I would have had that opportunity here? And unfortunately, and God rest his soul, loves Coach Crackthorpe to death. He's, obviously was a really important person in my life. But when he was let go, Charlie Strong gets the job. Guess who I meet? I meet Charlie. I meet all those guys that coached me there, and he put me on scholarship. I went from a walk-on to a scholarship. I mean, my school's paid for now. I don't have to have student loans anymore. So, I mean, the opportunities that came about not coming here the first time, I think set me up. Because what happened? Charlie gets to Texas. I meet Jeff Traylor at Texas. I get hired at UTSA by Jeff. It all works out. I get to Oregon. Now I'm here at Kentucky, where I always wanted to be and wanted to play as a kid and now coach. So, firm believer that everything happens for a reason. Never take anything for granted, and just be where your feet are and be great where you're at. So, yeah, I'm extremely thankful for my time at Louisville. I am. I would lie to you guys right now if I said I wasn't. And really because of the people, my coaches there, and they're so proud of me. I've had so many texts from people from everywhere, from all different teams, all different stages of my life. They're super supportive and just proud of this moment for me.
Karen Czar with WUKY, welcome. You have an incredible group of players sitting over here, hungry for a win. What do you see as their greatest assets that you want to build on?
That's a great question. Listen, it's really hard playing football. It's hard practicing. It's hard working out. So I just appreciate their toughness. I appreciate their ability to show up right now and support me, because I'm gonna be their biggest fans. I got the best seat on Saturdays. I get to watch our guys play football, and it's an honor to be their coach, and it's not gonna be easy. Like, this offseason, my goal is to make it the hardest offseason we've ever had here. The hardest. Has to be. Like, if we want to beat the people that we want to beat, I'm not just talking about people down the road. I'm talking about the people that Kentucky's beaten over. I'm talking about the real people that we got to beat. It takes freaking work. It's a grind. And when you don't want to wake up in the morning, you got to wake up. And you got to show up. And you got to show out. And so that's what I'm excited about, to get with this group, to see them strain, to see their toughness, to see their desire to get better. And I'm ready to do it with them. Okay?
Willie, you've talked a lot about getting talented players, getting those talented players the ball to make your offense work. It's been reported that there's a general manager joining. So what does that structure look like of player acquisition?
Yeah, I mean, the first thing in any talent acquisition is the evaluation process. And evaluation happens a lot of different ways. It's in person, It's on the phone, it's Zoom, it's doing background checks, it's height, weight, speed, it's getting them to campus. There's a lot of facets to the evaluation process. And then it's about the recruitment. And recruiting is still old school. It really is. I know y'all might be like, there's no way. There's NIL. What is NIL? What is this stuff? There's a cap now? What's a cap? Like, that is part of it. And that's why we're going to have the best general manager in the country being here with me. I know I can't report on that just yet, but you guys, I'm sure that will come out very soon. But yeah, there is a financial piece to it now. And to me, the best trait of a college football coach now is adaptability. We got to adapt. If y'all are still saying, I wish it was like the old days, it ain't the olden days. It's not. So just get that out of your mind. Like, let's push forward. Let's move forward in this process. And how do you do that? It takes everybody in this room. Everybody, young, old, everybody in this room. So, but yeah, evaluation, recruiting, in-person evaluation, out-of-person evaluation, getting them in the campus as many times as possible during the recruitment periods, and then just closing the deal. You got to close, and how do you do that? It's, like I mentioned, it's building the relationships, not always being the highest bidder, but this is the best place that people can come play football, and they got to believe that in their hearts.
Coach, welcome. Paul Novielli with 102.7 The Game and Bleed Blue Network. You guys do a spring game very much like an actual game day at Oregon. Is that something that you're planning on bringing to Kentucky and implementing? Because I'm sure the fans would absolutely love and respond
For sure.
to that.
You know the best way to get better at football is? Play football. This isn't like basketball. You can't just go play 5-on-5 hoops out in the backyard. Like, you got to put the pads on, you got to hit, you got to tackle. That's how you get better. That's how you become tough. That's how you win games on the road in the SEC. So you got to play football. And that's what we'll do through spring. It'll be a tough camp. Fall will be a tough camp. But what is that going to make us? It's going to make us tough on Saturdays. It's going to make us tough to beat. And excited about getting through really just strength and conditioning this winter, setting up a great plan for these guys to get bigger, faster, stronger, getting ingrained in our offense, defense, and special teams, and then moving to spring football.
Hey, Will, Ryan Black from the CJ again, and man, I'm self-conscious following that last guy. What a voice he's got. But what I was going to ask you was, you mentioned the juggling that you're going to be doing right now with Oregon and here. Have you tried to lean on Coach Lanning in terms of how he dealt with that, staying at Georgia through their playoff run and winning it, and then
100%.
Well, thank you there.
100%. Yeah, Dan he's been phenomenal. I mean, talk about just an amazing person, human, supporter, innovative. He's taught me so much, and he has been 100% in support of this, and it's been really cool to see. And he's somebody that I'm going to lean on while I'm here. You know, he's leaned on his mentors throughout his process, and he'll be the first one to tell you he's growth mindset oriented, and he's always going to try to look to get better. So I'm going to use Dan as long as I live, as long as he wants to answer my calls, because he means that much to me. And so, excuse me, yeah, I will. It's cool that he's done this. Obviously, the playoff format was a little bit different, but what does give me a little bit of ease is that it is going dead in recruiting, right? It is dead. So you can't go on the road. Like, before, it would have been 3 official visit weekends, signing day a little bit later in December. You'd really love to have all of your staff here starting to work the road. But we'll be able to do that in-house with Zoom calls and FaceTimes and text groups, everything you can imagine to juggle the recruiting, and then I got some great support back in Oregon. I mean, those guys are working their butt off to create a great plan against, who we end up playing in that first round.
Right here, Dejiana Wilson with Fox 56 here in Lexington. As being part of Big Blue Nation yourself and now having the support from Big Blue Nation, I'm sure the moment has come full circle. What has been your most surprising moment just from Big Blue Nation so far since taking this job?
I was floored yesterday when we landed. We got off the cool private jet that they flew us on. It's pretty great, Mitch. Thank you for that. I'm not kidding. There was 15 cop cars in front of our car and 15 cop cars behind our car. I felt like the President of the United States. I was like, what in the heck is going on? I took a picture on my phone. I was like, I've never seen anything like that. So it kind of woke me up. I was like, this is a big time gig. You know, this is big time. So that was probably the most surprising to date. That's it. Thank you so much. Thank you for coming out and supporting. Cannot wait to get rolling with the Cats. Thank you.
"276 days. Coach Will Stein will lead the Wildcats across Talbot Todd Way into the stadium, so we'll let him get to work. Thank you for coming.